So my little daughter, she just turned 10, and recently we were in the grocery store together in Martin's, which is, a pretty small grocery store, and we were almost finished shopping, and so we were going to check out, and then there were a couple other things that we needed. So I said, well, why don't we split up? You go get this, I'll go get that, and then we'll check out. So she went in one direction, I went in the other direction. And then I got what I needed, and I went back toward the checkout, toward the front of the store. And I'm sitting there waiting for her. And then I decided I better start, going down the aisles. I'm going down, looking down the aisles, and I saw her at the other end run by really fast. And then I tried to, find her on the other side, and then we eventually met up. But by the time she found me, she was panicked. You could see that she was kind of freaked out, and I'm like, it's okay. She goes, she didn't have her glasses on either, which that was a problem. She probably couldn't even see all the way down the aisle to the other end. But she had just gotten herself worked up to, as if she would never see me again or would never find me. But of course I was right there. Of course it's not a very big store. I wasn't going to leave her, and I was not very far away, but you could see that. And we've all experienced that as a kid, or maybe even as a grown-up. And I think that there is a general feeling in our lives that we have of panic, that we're trying to get somewhere. We're always trying to get to something. And then if we achieve that, we want something else, which is natural. That's the game of life. It's, do something, okay, you got that, do something else. It is an opportunity to create and to learn and to grow and to change and to do things. But there's a striving or a struggle that we infuse it with that's, I think, unnecessary. And that struggle and that striving just reminds me of that. It reminds me of, my daughter running around, where she could have just walked and knew that I was there and she would find me. And I think the essence of that is that we feel like we're not connected to something. We feel like we're out here on our own, when that's not true. Whatever was running through my daughter's head in the store was probably not something true. I was right there. We were going to meet up again. Everything was fine. But there is a reason behind our feeling of that disconnection. And I like the analogy of like an ocean wave. If you imagine a wave crashing down and water being sprayed up in the air, if you could suspend that for a moment, there'd be little droplets of water suspended in midair. And each of those droplets being separate, but each of them being the ocean. When they drop back down into the ocean, they're the ocean again, right? And they're not the ocean when they're separate. And we are like that little droplet of water, and we feel during this time on Earth like we don't know that we're the ocean. We're mistaken, thinking that we're all out here all on our own. If you could imagine suspending that or seeing it in slow motion, we go up, we come down, we came from there and we're going back there, but in the interim we feel like we're just out here on our own, like we're just this one little droplet of water. Each droplet is the same essence, is of the essence of the ocean, right? It's within it. But we're just not aware while we're here of where we came from and where we're going. It's a circle. We came from there, we're going back there. And the home that we're going back to it's always with us. It is us, just like that little drop is the ocean, just like its essence is the ocean. Our essence is that spiritual nature that we're going to drop into afterward. And it says, Let your prayer be an ongoing renewal. You pray by touching the deepest part of you that longs, that needs, that is. Let it speak in its own language, more often than not without words. The longing itself is the prayer of life. I want to be with you again, God. I want to be home. There is no how to prayer. It simply is. It is part of the oneness. It is part of your coming home. Do it whatever way you like. Prayer is to assure you of your connection with home, much as when you were children and you left for the day, there was that moment of panic. I'm sure you remember it, when you had to call home just to be sure that it was still there. Prayer is like that. It is calling home.